Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoyed Dad channel. Today we are doing something very, very scary down here in the bottom field. That's right, it's harrowing. Yeah, okay, right, that's going to be the last of the dad jokes, I promise you. Today we are going to harrow this field. And we haven't harrowed the field since we bought the place. Now, we bought the place in July last year and it is May now. Bear in mind that prior to us buying it for the previous 5 to 10 years, we're not exactly sure how long, all that happened was the guy came around here twice a year with a tractor and a topper and he just topped it, cut the grass down to about 3 inches long, and then he drove off again, and that was it. That was all that happened to it. Since we've had the place, we have been over it once with the topper, and we have had the horses in here for a few weeks, but the grass is still terrible. It is really, really terrible down this bit. The geese won't come in and chomp it down. The horses, they won't. They've been in here and they've done what they can, but they just avoid the worst of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag the harrow over it. Now, what's happened is, this was clearly evident when we had snow. There would be like 2 inches of snow on the surface, and then you would stand in the snow and you would sink down, but you're actually going down through the grass. So the grass isn't actually on the ground, it's quite high up. And in with the grass, there's all of this old stuff, all of this thatch, as it's called, mixed in with it, where from over the years it's grown up and then it falls down on itself, or all of the clippings have been left. And you can see we've got bits of grass growing through, but they're just the odd bits and pieces. It's not like a big, thick, proper bit of grass as you would expect. So what we're going to do is we're going to harrow it, and what the harrow will do is it will pull out a lot of this stuff. We're going to have a look at the harrow in a minute and we'll see how it works. It's just a really simple piece of kit. So that will go through it all. We'll drag it along behind the tractor, and hopefully within a couple of weeks we'll end up with some nice looking grass down here. Because if I flip you over to the other side, this is where the horses have been. I'm trying to stand out the wind because I'm not sure how my mic's going to pick up to it. You can see over to the right hand side here, this has been harrowed. There's hardly any thatch at all. You can see, yes, it's a bit barren in places, but when you compare it to this here, so all of these grey bits down here, that isn't mud, that's thatch. Just dead, rotten grass. And that just needs to be lifted up so that it can be left over to one side. So this is my harrow, and it's one we inherited when we bought the farm. It was here already. And basically, if we start off at the back of it, you've got these things here, which are great big weights. These are big, heavy things. And they are attached to the other bits of metal. I believe this is what they call a chain harrow, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. And it's a lot more harsh on the land than what's called a spring harrow, where the prongs that go into the ground are actually on springs. These are actually fixed. So what it does is, as it goes along, it will go that way along. You can see it's got these little bits of metal that are sticking down. So as it goes along, these are going to go through the grass. You can see them, there's like 2, 2, 2, 2. And because of the way how it's designed and made in the diamond pattern, so you've got 2 here and 2 here, and then you've got 2 there. So every bit of ground is covered, and obviously because it's so big. So those spikes, they go through the grass, and as they go through the grass, it brings up all of the thatch and all of the nasty stuff onto the surface. So as then it can either be pinched by the birds for their nests, as a couple of classic motorbikes go past, and a person in a smoking punto by the looks of it. So that can then either be pinched by the birds for their nests, or else it just rots away. On the end of it here, this is the tow rope. This is how bad it is, really. So there's the tow rope attached in. So what we'll do is we'll go and grab the tractor, we'll bring the tractor up, we'll get her connected up, and then we'll get on and we'll do some harrowing. ladies, so with the tractor brought round, we're connected up. I have actually changed the cable that runs between the two, so it's now on a slightly shorter one, and there's a piece just underneath there that it's just hooked onto. I'm hoping that's going to hold, because you don't want it too long, because otherwise what happens is as you turn around a corner, and we explain this as we're going round, this line actually stays straight, so it stays straight kicking out, and then as you turn a corner it'll go round and you can see where somebody's done it in the past and it starts to catch on your tyres. Yeah, I've got oil on my hands because we've got PTO leak down there, and yeah, it's not very good. You can see where stuff has happened in the past as a person's turned and then it just gone and caught on the tyres. So I think we are just about ready to pull off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig you up on the camera as we go away, and you can see me just pull off, and then we'll go around and we'll start doing a few bits and pieces. Right, okay, I think around here is as good a place as any just to stop, and we'll take a look and we'll see what the harrowing does. I will apologise, there will be wind noise. I've lost my mic somewhere. I did have it in my pocket, but it's obviously fallen out and it's gone somewhere. So you can quite clearly see, it is evident, obvious to see where we have been and where we haven't been. You can see we've just done the one pass so far. So if we go down, if we take a look, you can see that as it's gone through, it has just pulled up all of this stuff and it's just opened up the grass so much. So what's going to happen now is that this stuff on the surface is either going to rot away, or it will be picked up by the birds, or it will be blown away. See, like there. So once you get rid of that, you're actually down to not very bad grass. The other thing it's done is where we've had the horses in, I'll show you just down here, you can see that the poo has just basically been scattered right the way along. There's like a nice long line of it going, whereas had we have left it, you can see like just down here, that pile there has just been left, that one there has been scattered along. So yeah, it's quite good fun. So I've got the rest of the field to do, so I'm going to crack on and get this done, and I will see if I can find my mic somewhere. Fingers crossed I will, and it won't be broke. And that is it, basically. That is the field done. It didn't take me too long. We are a few hours after I ended because I had to whiz off home. So you can see where you look at it now, and you can see like there's areas where the horses would have pooed there, and as we explained earlier, that's all been scattered around. But then you see like the dead stuff laying on the top now, because it's all been pulled out of the grass, and you get the wind and the sun on that, and it will just be gone. It will rot down. See, all the dead stuff all being pulled out, which is brilliant. That is just what we wanted. We want all that dead stuff out of there, so as we can then allow the newer stuff to grow through. It's like there, you see, it's just all dead stuff that's on the surface. And yeah, it's done a great job. It's brilliant. Excuse the wind again, I still haven't found my mic. No idea where that has gone. It's ended up somewhere. So yeah, keep watching because we will be doing more on this field. What we'll do now is we'll leave it for a week, and by the end of this week it'll be back greener than it's been in a long time. Then we'll let the horses come in for a bit. We might have to segment them into certain areas. Let me try and turn, see if I can shield you from some of that wind. We might have to segment them off because otherwise they'll get spring grass belly and they'll look fat and ugly, which they do anyway, but you know, they'll just look more fat and more ugly than what they normally look. And then we'll probably harrow it again and we'll see how we get on. So thank you so much for watching. If you have not already done so, please do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment, tell us what you think of my attempts at harrowing. Did I do a good job? Am I on the right lines? Or have I got absolutely no idea what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'd agree with that last one. And until the next video, bye bye.